Hi, welcome back to Game Room Crafts. I'm Kelly. This is my game room. Let's play. Today is Skull Sunday, a collaboration with Karen at the Dragon's Cave and Lula at Nerd Goblin Arts. Please check out the playlist below. There's a bunch of artists doing a bunch of scully things because skulls are not just for Halloween. I'm using my large skull again today. I'm going to be doing a shell skull. Well, it's going to evoke the sea, but I'm not making it blue. I'm using these large shells that I got from I think this was a mix of a Hobby Lobby bag and a bag that was brought to me by relatives in Hawaii. So I'm using a mix of those large shells and we're going to be putting them in Mr. Scully here. I have two different types of pearls. This one is more of a yellowy kind of pearl and he sinks. This one is more of the white pearl. It's a little bit more iridescent, I think. And oddly enough, some of them sink and some of them float. I tested. So we're going to put those into the skull at different layers. And I haven't decided whether or not the final layer will be sand. I'm kind of leaning that way, but we'll see how it goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up my resin. And I need to get these shells into the resin first because they're hollow. There's air in there. And when we put resin in, the air is going to displace. It's going to, number one, want to float. And number two, cause large bubbles. So I'm going to mix up my resin and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Now, my skull takes 9.5 ounces of resin. I have 8 because I have a bunch of stuff I want to put in there. Well, what I've done is I dropped my biggest shell into my resin to kind of give it a base, give it some resin on the inside of it. Hopefully that will stop it from floating so much. Now, I want this standing on its head kind of because it's a spiral. I want to see the spiral on the side of his head. I have this one. I'm going to do the same thing. Plop. And I'm hoping to get as much resin into the shell as possible so that it won't see that giant bubble that came out of it, so that it won't float. There we go. See, that's what I want. I want all the bubbles to come out now before I put it into Mr. Scully. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it this way. And yeah, I'm using my tweezers now. I can guarantee you my fingers will be joining the party. See, I have them standing up so I can kind of what I want to see when I'm looking at it from the outside. This one I'm not worried about because it's flat on the back. This one has a giant hole. So we need to get it in there and get some resin into the shell so that, see, the giant air bubble came out of there. So you drop it in and you move it around so the resin can get in and the air can get out. Now, oddly enough, the answer is yes, this has been put into the bubble machine. Can I have one more that is going to cause me air problems? So I put it in, move it around, hope that the air will come out so I don't get, see, one bubble came out, 2. There's another one. It's stuck. I can see it. It's right there. There we go. That's 3, 4. Any more? Yep, there's another one. Keep giving me bubbles. There's another one. And the more I twist it, the more bubbles come out, which means the resin is going down into the shell, which is what I want. I want him standing there by the eyes, I think. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pour some of my resin in. And you can see bubbles coming out. Give it a tippy tap. And then I'm going to drop some of my pearls. Now, the yellowy ones, I know they sink. I'm going to... kind of where I want them to, roughly where I want them to sink to. Don't want those right next to each other. Now my beautiful pink one, and I'm putting him in, I'm dipping it just in case there's like micro pockets of where resin could cause problems. Dipping it in, and then I'm going to slide him right towards the back of the skull. And I want him to stand up, but I don't know that he will. Seeing as I'm putting them in there that there are little micro bubbles popping up. I need one. Yeah, here. Now, this is a micro brush and the cottony part has come off, but you know what it's great for? Popping bubbles or pulling bubbles to the surface. Now, this resin it was the Buncrafter 121 and it's got just a tad bit of crushed crystal. Kid wanted to see some crushed crystal in it, so just very little crushed crystal, not a lot. Now you can see the yellowy ones sank. Some of these silvery ones, they float. So I'm just going to drop them in and see what happens. Some of them float, some of them sink. I don't know what's up with that, but okay. And I'm going to keep going. And I have decided that I will be putting a layer of sand for the final layer. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this probably completely cure up. And then I will do the final layer, which is right the bottom of the bottom jaw and the very tip of the back part of the skull. And I will be mixing sand in. I have colored sand, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use straight up white sand. And no, it's not any specific special sand. It's play sand from the hardware store. It's the kind that you would put in a sandbox. So it's been sieved out, and there aren't very many particulates that you wouldn't want in there because it's made to go in a sandbox for kids. So you're not going to get shell in it or things like that. So that's good for what I need it for. Okay, I have one more pearl. I don't know. Do I need to drop it in there? I might as well. It's out. I don't know if it's going to sink or if it's going to float. I think it's a silvery one, so let's see. It's starting to go down. Okay, so spritz that. And so like I said, that was 8 ounces of the clear epoxy resin with crushed crystal. And then my, 4 or 5 giant shells. They're not giant shells, but they're of the bigger variety. If you're gonna go look for craft shells, they're the bigger ones, but they are natural. None of them were dyed, so you shouldn't get any bleeding from the shells. The pearls I wonder about, because the kid asked me, she's like, is the iridescence coming off? We shall find out. We shall find out. Okay, so I'm gonna let these let it sit and do its thing for, I'm gonna give it like half hour, 45 minutes, and then I'm going to do my last layer. And the reason that's not taking me very long is because it's already starting to get warm, and this is Bondcraft filler. It does not take very long before it starts to get to that point where it's tacky enough that I can do my next layer. I want to put the sand, but I don't want it sinking into the rest of the piece. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give it some time, and I will bring you back when it's time for the next step. See you in a minute. Okay, we are back, and this is ready for our last step. We are going to be adding, I have here 2 ounces of the Bondcrafted 1-to-1, and I put in a little bit of extra fine gold glitter. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to add the play sand that I talked to you about earlier. I'm just going to add some in. Now, I don't think I'm going to be putting all of this in. But what I don't want is a separation of here's sand and here's just clear and glitter. And because it's the final layer, I don't mind if it's all, thicker and you can't see through. I don't want to see through it. I want to see sand. So I don't want it separating. So I may have to add more sand than that. I'm going to let it sit a sec and see. I have a feeling, yeah, you can already see that it's separating. So I'm going to add more sand. That is the solution. I want it thick. So like I said, this is just play sand that you get at the hardware store in white. Of course, if you have craft sand, you can go ahead and use that. I had different color craft sands, and we did entertain the idea of using a blue craft sand, but the one that I have it's a little bright to be evoking any ocean feelings. So I'm thinking that's good. And in actuality, if it separates, what will happen, because you're working upside down, the sand will sink and I will get the clear layer up on top. And if I have to grind that down, I will. But I think I'm actually good at this point. So did you see? There is a line of bubbles that came up, and I can see it coming from the big shell. There's a line of bubbles, and there's nothing I can do about that at this point. It is already set. It's beyond the tacky stage. So even if I tried with the heat gun, and I did try with the heat gun, it's going nowhere. Kid says, that's okay. It's supposed to be the ocean. So kind of looks oceany. Like, oh, okay. All right. Sand in. I'm going to spritz it just a little bit. If I can stop any other bubbles from forming, I'd be happy. Oh, but a fuzz right there. I don't want that going in. I didn't know how much I was going to need, so I mixed up 2 ounces. All in all, with the addition of the sand, there's like way more than what I need. Knowing that it's going to shrink, I'm kind of going above. I'm dominant. I may have gone a little too far right there. Resin goes where resin was. So if I leave that like that, it's just going to keep finding its way to that edge. And I don't want it finding its way to that edge. And I went a little too far in the back. That's all right. So there will be some cleanup. And that's okay. I kind of knew that. I actually made that happen. I broke the surface tension when I sprayed the alcohol on it. I should not have done that. Don't do what I did. It was actually nice and domed, and then I broke the surface tension by spraying the alcohol on it, which was not smart. Okay, what do I have left? I have about 1.5 ounces of sand resin. What would I make out of sand resin? Well, okay, so I'm gonna slide Mr. Scully back here. I'm gonna use my turtle here. I'm just curious. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna pop a pearl. Okay, so I'm gonna take that last bit that I have here, and I think that should be more than enough to fill up my turtle in here. Now, this turtle had been painted gold before, or brushed gold before, and I'm hoping that this will take all of that gold out that I had been left behind the last time I cast it. It's a little thick, so a lot of sand, and the resin is thickening up. It has been sitting for a while, so it's at the point where it kind of doesn't want to play anymore. Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of cleanup on this one, but it is what it is. All right. I think we're doing a bear. Now this is going to be a magnet. No doubt about it. And I love me my fridge magnets, I do. Plus, they make great little gifts. These bears also make really good pocket hugs because they come in multiple sizes. So, I mean, I obviously have made keychains and things with the teeny tiny ones, keychains and pendants. But the medium and larger bear make great magnets, and they make great hugs. Actually, like the medium one as a bag pull also. Okay, so these are done. I'm going to let these guys sit and cure up, and we will be back when it's time to demold. All right, see you soon. Back, and this is the next day. Full disclosure, I'm going to try and get all this stuff off. You saw me make a mess. This is my leftover resin that I just made a mess of. And it's just easier to take it off now than it is to take it off when the mold is empty. This mold is actually a stiffer mold, so not too bad. I could scrape it off after the fact, and I probably will do because there's a lot. Okay, so this was a teddy bear, and it's just sand. What we're going to do, I didn't fill it up all the way, and I don't mean to, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn him into a magnet. And he's adorable. Kid, look at that. He's sand and gold glitter. Extra fine gold glitter. Yeah, he sparkles. Sparkles. He's got sparkles. Yeah, I'm going to have to scrape it off. Okay. So that's one. I have here a little turtle and a big turtle. Now these we made ourselves. We made these molds, and they're so cute. And they're different from any of the other turtles I've seen out there. So I like that. Again, gonna have to be scraped off. This was made out of 0A, so you can see it's very soft. But I love this mold. I really do. Okay. Well, did I get the tail? I did. That's good. It's gonna have some cleanup. How's his head? Yes, and it pulled that leftover gold that I had in the mold. So he got a little knockoff overage, but I think he worked out well. I think this small one makes really good keychain or bag pull. What do you think, kid? Let me see. He has some cleanup on the bottom by his chin. Yep, turtle. And here's the big one. Now, this one, I had put the pearl in the head and it moved. So I don't, yeah.
Is his head okay?
His head seems okay. So it moved, it floated out, but the sand, I guess, filled it the hole.
Like it sucks.
Yeah,
but
he
it
seems
could have
okay.
been worse.
You can't even see the pearl from this side. It's on the bottom over there.
Like it kind of sucks. But
It's
it
a
could have been
hidden
worse.
surprise.
Yeah, it was so intentional.
Yup, it was totally. And again, some knockoff overage. Now the tail on this one, on the
What are you doing?
throwing her down, on the mama turtle, is more squared off than the one on the baby turtle. Oh, you all right?
Yeah.
Just throw that anywhere. Okay, now for the big reveal.
I'm afraid.
Oh, okay. Well, we have a little bit of, yeah, we do. We have a little bit of. I kind of knew that was going to happen though, because I, if you remember, broke the tension when I sprayed the alcohol and it started to overflow. I should have left it alone because it was nice and domed. But I will say this, it's full. It didn't, I mean.
Like it didn't shrink too much?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I think so. So this is probably going to take some trimming because it's not coming off with the tape. So that means it's stuck on there pretty darn good. Okay. Yeah.
You okay?
Sure. Got a little bit of that resin paper stuff, you know. Gotta loosen it up around the edge and be careful not to cut myself. Let's see if we can pull it up this way. Yeah. This is currently my favorite skull, but I actually have some more skulls coming in different sizes. Slightly different shape, like where the mandible is. I think that's what they call it. The jawbone. Come on. Yeah.
Let's go.
Make the pop sound.
Nice.
What do you think?
I think it's cute.
I actually could have done more shells. I like that.
Yeah.
That's and that.
Good job.
I could have done more shells. I intentionally didn't do more pearls, so we have some. The ones that sank are on the top of the skull, and the ones that floated right on at the bottom. But yeah, there is a lot of empty space there. I could have packed more shells in there.
I think it looks good like that, though.
I like it.
This one going through the nose is interesting.
He's got piercings. But it's a little. Where's my deburr? Take the deburring tool and. And we did put sand in the bottom, and you can see that. Now, remembering that I intentionally didn't put a lot of sand, and like I said, if I wanted to, I could easily just sand down this bottom here where you can see the separation layer. So you can see the sand is concentrated here because it sank. And then it would have been clear, but it's not because there's little sand and gold in there. So if I wanted to, I could sand that down, but I don't think I will. I kind of like it like that. I like that right here, the pearl looks like it's embedded in the sand.
I like that.
Yeah, he's good. I like him. My seashell skull. Love it.
Sea skull.
Sea skull. Thank you for joining us here in the game room for Skull Sunday. I had fun. I tried something new and it worked out to an extent. No, I like it. It worked out. I think if anything, I would have put more shells, but I like it. Yeah, I do like it. And the reason all the shells stayed down is because I filled them with resin. So the air bubbles came out so they didn't float. So yeah, again, like I said, thank you so much for joining us here for Skull Sunday. Please check out the playlist below for all the other Scully fun that's happening today. We will be back next month with a new skull make. Keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, we will be here every Thursday with a new make. Come see us then. And don't forget to play. See you soon. Bye.